what's it going to say? I mean, it could come out with all sorts, right? And then are you liable for that? If it's, am I liable for what my digital twin says?
Yeah, it's your likeness.
Hopefully not. You can create now a digital twin, digital avatar of yourself, which probably terrifies people.
There's two of you.
So there's multiple
You've been
now.
cloned.
I'm now on the web digitally. But what it does, and it's quite impressive, you record 30 seconds of your voice talking away, and then you can use that to then create personalized videos. So then you can start bringing in variables such as name, company name, other bits of text, etc. Give it a script, and it will take your idioms, it will take your voice, it will take your image, and create a video that then is a personalized message.
So the viewer is seeing you talking on video,
Yeah.
as if you had actually recorded yourself saying those things, but you haven't.
No.
So if you needed 1,000 of those videos,
Yeah.
each saying a different text script entirely,
Yeah.
that's all now completely doable.
Yep. And also, just from the point of view, for example, you could have an asset on your website, so an ebook or something, as part of that download process now, integrate it into CRM like HubSpot, pull out the information you've collected in the form, company name, first name, etc. Put that into a video. You could then email that out and say, "Hi, John, really hope that Acme Inc. enjoys this ebook. If you want to have a chat, hit the meeting link below," or whatever.
Well, if you had access to a bit more information then about their company,
Yeah.
that could be woven into the message, couldn't it?
Yeah. So,
Which reminds me a bit of the, what do they call it, prospecting agent that HubSpot have just released. It's still in beta, isn't it? And we're playing with it. But that's a very direct personalization approach as well. And just for users who haven't come across this yet, I think we may have mentioned it in a previous episode, but you put an email address of a prospect into this tool on HubSpot. It will then go away and it'll use its little agent to go and scan their website, their blog, and their social posts from the company, come up with relevant points, and construct 3 emails, which are a blend of news about them, which is very unique that it's found out through that scraping business, and blends it in with information you've said about what your company does. And it draws the links using large language model, AI typey stuff, and it creates these 3 very personalized emails, but at scale. So you can give that 10,000 emails, and it will write a different email to each, 3 different emails to each one, very much not looking like an insert your name here outreach. Now that is pretty smoky if it works.
yeah. Well, and it's early days experimenting with that type of thing at the moment they're doing, but it's, and this is where I think the AI is bringing in that ability to personalize at scale, which is what we said before, is the problem was always to scale, you had to depersonalize.
Yeah. Well, you had to. Do you remember a couple of years ago when Martin was in the office with his video stuff, and he had this tool which allowed you to record a video and inserts the text of someone's name from a file, and it went through all the videos and inserted the your name here thing, but in video. And at the time, that sounded crazy high tech. No one had ever done that before, and he was getting lots of customers on that because you could send an email out to all your prospects, and whilst it was a basic standard video with all the speaking was the same and the image, it was having their text somewhere on it. Well, this now is that times 100 or more, isn't it? The actual speech that you're coming up with has been tailored to a script.
Well, the other bit, and I've not played with this yet, but it's probably on to-do list for next week, so I shall report back if I get a chance to do it, is that I can now take my digital avatar, digital twin of me, and I can link it to a private GPT, which I could train on, for example, this podcast, the transcripts of this podcast, or any other knowledge that I've got. And then I can integrate that into Zoom. So I could have a little meeting link button saying, if you want to if you want to meet with me now, even if it's 11 o'clock at night or whatever, click here, and you can talk to my digital twin who's going to sound like me, talk like me, all of that. And you could even then, I guess, train it to ask if you're doing standard discovery type calls or whatever, you could do that. Or you could say, if you want to talk to the real me, then book a meeting in this calendar over here, and that would be more restrictive as to when you can
So is
meet.
that a bit like that ChatGPT speaky thing where you can have a spoken conversation?
Yeah, I think so.
But this time it's with the video as well.
With the video.
And rather than just a robot anonymous thing, it's you personally. They can see you talking back.
Yeah.
Now, how do you overcome all the trust issues like that?
Well, I think that's the problem, isn't it? So there's the trust issue of if you're meeting someone new for the first time, you've got to be really open that this is, kind of not actually me, but sort of.
Do you want to put a little watermark on the screen?
I think
this is a digital twin.
But also, what's it going to say? I mean, it could come out with all sorts, right? And then are you liable for that? If it's, am I liable for what my digital twin says?
Yeah, it's your likeness.
Hopefully not.
but
it's an interesting point, actually. For any lawyers out there, is your digital twin a separate legal entity to you?
Well, yeah. Do you have the same responsibility over what it says as if you'd written the written word? But if it's all been amalgamated using a large language model to come up with stuff that you didn't directly write, it's just sourced from you. Where does it stop? Where does it start? I don't know. That's a fascinating legal question. Especially if it starts giving advice.
Yeah.